saying that the pound is okay because it's gone back up again, but still it's that uncertainty, the uncertainty of this Brexit, and we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen to the pound. It's destroying our economy. I mean, it's embarrassing that we have now become this kind of inward-looking, we come across to the world as xenophobic. Kind of, we're going to become this little England on its own, and that's definitely, emphatically, not what young people wanted.
I saw, Jade, I saw you shaking your head and rolling your eyes a little bit. What do you say to those arguments that England is going to become more of a xenophobic little country?
Well, I completely dispute that. England is not going to become xenophobic. England is not racist. England is none of those things. We are very accepting people. I'd just like to say that women are not going to lose their rights. The LGBT community are not going to lose their rights. We as a country protect those rights, and we will continue to do so. We are not Little Englanders. We are Great Britain. We are great.
And those two students rejoin me once again. Jade Smith, who was on the right in that clip, is a student at Leeds Beckett University and a former student with the Leave campaign. And Amy Longland is national co-chair of Youth for Europe UK. She joins us from London. Hello again to you both. So Jade, let me begin with you. You voted to leave the EU. Describe what this day means for you.
It's very surreal. It's waking up and realising that we finally left the European Union. Some people have been fighting for this for 25 years. I mean, I've only been fighting for it since I was 16. But it just feels like this day we've become our own country again. We've got control of our own laws, our own borders and our own money.
And Amy, as someone who voted for Britain to remain in the EU, how are you feeling knowing that the exit process has begun?
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, Amy, yep, go ahead.
Hi. Yeah, sorry, I mean, surreal is definitely the word I would choose to describe it today. I mean, I've looked at the events of today. Article 50 has been triggered with a very heavy heart. Obviously, it's not what we wanted. Obviously, as well, Jade mentioned we've already left, which we haven't. We've got 2 years of negotiations, 2 years of trying to extract ourselves from 50-plus agreements, and 2 years of uncertainty that will no doubt damage our economy and no doubt threaten the prospects for young people. So, you know, it's a surreal situation. It's happened. It's not what we wanted. And I look with some concern, but some timid hope to what the future holds.
And so, Jade, you know, as Amy mentioned, it's going to take 2 years to negotiate an exit. Do you have concerns about that time frame, just 2 years to get out of all kinds of complicated agreements?
No, because I trust Liam Fox, Boris Johnson and David Davis, the ministers in charge of this, to conduct themselves properly, to get the best deal for Britain, because that's what this Conservative government wants, the best deal for Britain.
A better deal for Britain, Jade, but how are you going to do that? How is it going to be a better deal for Britain? You know, the EU, and we heard from Angela Merkel today, who said that, first of all, you've got to negotiate the exit, then you can negotiate to come back in some kind of way, whereas, you know, we hear from Theresa May saying, oh, we can all do it at once, but, you know, when you're up against 450 million other people and 26, 27 other countries, doesn't that become challenging?
I trust our Prime Minister completely and utterly to look after this country, look after our interests and make sure that we have a better deal for Britain than we currently have, which is a really bad one.
Amy, what about you?
I completely agree with everything that you've said there, Andrew. I mean, just look at the deal that was happening with Canada. It took 8 years to negotiate. It's completely and utterly, over-optimistic to think that in 2 years we'll be able to completely extract ourselves from Europe and get a better deal. I just don't think that time frame is realistic. And also, let's look at how much it's going to cost us as well. It's going to cost around £94 million a year until the UK's exit is complete. You know, Jean-Claude Juncker has actually said, you know, there will be no cut price Brexit. And the Brexit bill itself is costing €60 billion. Our brand new Department for Exiting the EU is going to cost the taxpayer billions and billions of pounds. And while I'm sure we will leave the EU and there will be, you know, we will be okay. I really, really am sceptical about the idea that it's going to be better for us because of the cost and because of the time frame. And what I really worry about is the fact that it will be rushed So the 2 years is just not enough time. And I'm worried the key things that affect young people, such as Erasmus+, such as funding for universities, and lots of things that really affect young people will fall by the wayside because they won't be considered important enough to try and push through something in 2-year time frame. That's what really concerns me.
And Jade, why do you think Britain will be able to get a better deal? What specifically are you hoping for that will come out of these negotiations?
Well, obviously, we're hoping to provide clarity and certainty to the British people. That is the first thing on the government's agenda with their plan for Britain. We also want to strengthen our union with Scotland, Wales and Ireland and take control of our own laws, which is obviously the most important reason for me for why I wanted to leave. We'll obviously be able to control our own immigration, and we will try and secure the rights of EU nationals in this country. We'll protect workers' rights, we'll ensure free trade with European markets, secure trade deals with countries such as Canada and Australia, ensuring the UK remains the best place for science and innovation into looking to cancer treatments, looking to curing dementia. We'll also cooperate in the fight against crime and terrorism. We'll not stop these types of cooperation with France and Germany, and we'll also deliver a smooth, orderly exit from the European Union.
And Amy, what are you specifically worried about for you personally in terms of how this could affect your life, whether it's work, whether it's travel, whatever?
What I'm really worried about, and it's funny that Jade should say strengthen the union with Scotland with the Scottish referendum looming on the horizon. I'm worried I'm going to see a breakup of my country. I'm worried that all of this amazing stuff she's spoken about isn't going to be able to be achieved in 2 years. But the key thing for me and what I'm really concerned about personally is, as you mentioned, job prospects and opportunities for young people, the ability to work and study and travel abroad through the Erasmus+ programme. Those are things I'm really worried about, and on a personal level. My work at my charity that I work for now, My Life, My Say, we're doing an APPG on a better Brexit for young people, which will try and include young people in the negotiation process. Because many, over 75% of young people voted to remain, lots of them couldn't vote, and lots of them have voted for the first time. So what I'm worried about is these young people that didn't get the result they wanted are going to become completely disillusioned with politics, completely disengaged. They're going to see a shambles happening in the Brexit arena. There's so much uncertainty. And that's why the work I'm doing now is trying to engage these young people and try and place them central to the negotiations to protect things like Erasmus+, and to make sure that while they're pushing through this 2-year time frame, things that directly affect young people and are really integral to their futures aren't just going to fall by the wayside. That's my biggest concern.
And Jade, Amy brought up Scotland's referendum, or the possibility that Scotland could have another independence referendum. And tell me how you feel about that. Are you worried about that?
It's not going to happen. Ruth Davis told Nicola Sturgeon to shut up. The Prime Minister had a short conversation with Nicola Sturgeon about it. This isn't Scotland wanting a referendum. This is the SNP's little game of politics, trying to push forward their agenda, which the whole of Scotland does not want. They voted Remain in stay with the Union.
Under a completely different agenda.
In 3 years. Nothing.
Hardly unity, though, is it? It's hardly a united country.
Well, nor is marching in London and destroying war memorials and causing a ruckus like all the Remainers did on June the 24th.
All right. So, I wanted to ask you, this is a good place to leave this, but, tell me about how your feelings are. They were raw emotions when I spoke to you the day after the vote. Here we are, the day that's triggering the actual exit 10 months later. Amy, you've accepted the result? You believe that this is actually going to happen, that, there's no turning back now? And how are you feeling about some of the divisions in the country?
Well, I think that the referendum did expose a lot of division, and I think what's really important now is we all come together through my work at Youth for Europe, through my work at the European Society. It's bringing people together, and actually the march on Saturday was an amazing experience of bringing people together in the celebration of peace and friendship and unity, and saying, okay, Brexit's happening, but it doesn't mean that we can't keep arguing the case for close ties with our European brothers and sisters, for arguing the case of a European identity. And I accept that Brexit will happen. The Article 50 bill has been triggered. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop arguing the case for Europe. But what's really important for me now is making sure that young people are involved in the negotiation processes. And I'm hopeful that with my APPG on a better Brexit for young people that I'm involved in through my charity, My Life, My Say, I'm really hopeful that we can try and re-engage young people and capitalise on this mobilisation and try and ensure that, they remain central to these negotiations going forward. I'm saddened by what's happening, but I am hopeful that we can ensure young people aren't disproportionately disadvantaged by the outcome.
And Jade, just a few seconds left, but how are you feeling today, just in terms of the country and the divisions?
I'm excited with the result, obviously. I campaigned for 9, 10, 11 months for this. I don't see the divisions. I walked around university all day with a Vote Leave T-shirt on. Not one person questioned it. These people that keep chatting about things being wrong and this is going to hurt our country, it's wrong. Our country will be fine. Our Prime Minister will serve this country well. That is what she's there to do, so I believe solely in this government.